Hey you guys, it's Anne-Marie. Happy Monday. Happy magical, marvelous Monday. Yay! It's getting a little steamy already. It's early in the morning. I see as usual, I'm not the only one who had the bright idea, get outside early today because it's going to be over 90 degrees. And I was just saying to the people I stayed with, last summer was not like this. It wasn't it's always hot. You know, like, it's Ohio, for Christ's sake. We're not down south. Why is it humid and hot and just unbearable sometimes? It's just, I'm grateful though. I'm grateful. But I'm starting to think that I'm going to be more adaptable to cooler temperatures. Anywho, why don't we continue this gravy train, pull some cards to get some messages of clarity for those of you who would like it. I want to know, what's our inner child want us to know today? Let's start off the week. Great. What's your inner child want you to know? Spirit, high vibrating ancestors, spirit guides. They're repaving the bicycle thing or whatever route with asphalt, which smells great. So I apologize for the loud sounds. Wait, this truck is going by. Interesting. We have two cards. Now, the last reading I did, we pulled two cards. One of them was the number one. It was number one. There's a reason you have those dreams. So we pulled from the Inner Child deck, number one, a time to remember. Look back on your childhood. That's so interesting. There's a reason you have those dreams. And what's interesting, and also with the last deck, we pulled card number 13. And it's time to let go, to leave the old behind. Let go and leave the old behind. And this card's saying a time to remember. Look back on your childhood. The second card is 34, which is 7. Spend time in nature. Let the beauty of nature refresh your soul. Well, I mean, Spirit's just showing out and speaking up today. So think about a current scenario, something that you're feeling challenged in, or a barrier that you're feeling challenged in. What is the emotions that it's bringing up? Really, if you have to pause the video, pause the video. This requires a little in-depth processing here. Let's say things aren't going very well in your relationship, or you feel like you're not being heard in your relationship, or your partner's not showing up for you the way you would like them to show up for you. These are just simple examples. Sit with that. What are the feelings it brings up? Anger. I'm not projecting, I'm just throwing it out there. Anger, resentment, frustration, pain, sadness. Okay? Think back to your childhood when you felt similar things from similar scenarios. How was your engagement with your caregivers? Were your caregivers, did they show up for you? Did they listen? Did you feel heard and listened to by them? Did you feel validated by them? What did that feel like? Spirit is saying that for those of you who are facing some certain challenges right now, take what resonates, leave the rest. It's a collective reading. That it's stemming back from your childhood. A lot of us know this, but Spirit is saying that someone's not recognizing that the current cycle that they're in is the same cycle that played out and taught them to accept this type of behavior or these type of energies in your life, because that's what happened in your childhood. That you may not even realize that people aren't supposed to treat people this way. People do know what they do. People do treat you accordingly to how they feel about you. And here's the thing. Sometimes people, because of their own unhealed stuff, they can't show up for you because they can't show up for themselves. However, that's not your problem. Now you can, because of your own unhealed trauma, stick around and in these relationships or in these situations, just hoping and praying that this person will come around if you just love them hard enough. You just cook the best dinner. I don't know. If you just support everything that they do, that eventually they'll come around and see you for you and just support you in one little simple way when you're having a bad day. Look back on where you learned that from. Back to your childhood. This is where the time to remember comes from. Because, and I'm pulling that together because, like I said, this number one is a time to remember. This number one is there is a reason. And again, it's time for you to like kind of shed that, or at least open it up. It's easier said than done. It's not like you're like, yeah, I know that my parents didn't validate me, or when I went and told my parents that this was going on to me, that, or they didn't listen to me, or that I could never get nothing right in my parents' eyes, like nothing was ever good enough for them. And so then you in turn, you may be in relationships where you feel the same invalidation. Maybe not the same scenario, obviously, because it's your parents, but it's the same type of feelings or emotions, you know, like around not being validated, not being supported, not being heard, not being seen. It's like you're replaying your childhood over and over again as an adult. And that's what Spirit wants you to start really taking a look at. Something's going to come to head within 3 or 4 weeks, and usually I don't do time things, but when Spirit gives me a time frame, something's going to be coming up within 3 or 4 weeks that is going to force you to really look at this. Or Spirit is saying, Spirit's going to give you another opportunity to take a hard look at this energy that's in your life right now, and to look back to your childhood. How did your mother treat you? How did your father treat you? Was your mother or father around? Was it your grandparents that raised you, or somebody else in your family spent more time raising you? What were the messages that they gave you about being seen, being heard, being validated? Honestly, look at it. Don't gaslight yourself. Don't gaslight yourself. You deserve way more than that. If you truly want to be open to the truth. If you truly want to be happy and grow and expand your life, and to realize that it doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you when people can't show up for you the way you need them to be. You were taught that from an early age. That was your perception, because, you know, our brains aren't developed until we're between 25 and 27. Male brain, it takes a couple more years to fully grow to its fullest, you know, whatever. And that's if you have no trauma. So between 25 and 27 years, that's when our brain is fully developed. So as a child, first of all, give yourself a break. Your conceptualization of what's really going on around you. Children, no matter what a parent says or does, always internalizes things going around them as their fault. On top of, if you had a parent who didn't do their own healing work, they may have insinuated that things were your fault. So Spirit is saying that you're going to be given another opportunity to take an honest look about this stuff that's going on in your life. Now, if you want to stay in that because it just seems too hard to get out of those energies, that's fine too. But know that Spirit sees you in a higher light, and you have a higher and greater purpose. It's time for you to remember who you are, what you came here to do, and your path. It's not to play small. It's not to feel invalidated, not seen or not heard, not appreciated by anybody. And again, if these individuals can't, you know, we're not talking about them. We're talking about you. That's all you can control. You only can control how you respond, how you interact. I just heard someone say, but we have been together so long, or we're family, or we've been friends, or whatever it is. It's like there's a longevity here. So you've been suffering like this for that long? Waiting to feel validated and heard? You think just one more year, one more month that you will? This is the message with love. You are worth every step that you take. Every step I take, every move I make. I don't know what song's coming to mind. I hope you're healthy and happy and full of joy. I feel like my video is lagging. Like, blah, blah, blah. Yep. Imagine that. Again, I hope you're healthy and happy and full of joy. You guys, may you love and be loved. Heal, don't harm. I can't stop looking at my mouth. I feel like one of those old Kung Fu movies. Have a great day.